Hi everyone, in this video we're going to discuss clinical UPS. So for the first questions here, which method is used to solve the differential equation? So to solve the DE equation, dy dx has to become our subject. Then we see the expression here. So if this one can be fully factorized, let's say I can take out x squared and 1 over y squared, you can see I can fully factorize the x or I can fully factorize the y, which means that this dE is solved by separable variables. So that is our answer. Then for the second question here, find the general solution for the dE dy dx 2x over y squared. So for 2x over y squared, like the question previously, we try to factorize. So 2x in one factor, 1 over y squared in one factor. So x and y can fully factorize in one factor, which means that this question is solved by separable method. So to separate this, the factor of y we move back to the left hand side, so it becomes y squared dy. So the dx we times back to the right hand side dx, then we integrate both sides. So in this case, integrate y squared power plus 1 over new power. So for integrate 2x squared, so formula will be power plus 1 over new power, then plus c. So to express y as a subject, we need to simplify here. So y cubed equals to multiply the 3 to the right hand side, it will become 3x squared. Then 3 times c actually is still c, still a constant. You can see like 10 is a constant. When I times 3, 30 also a constant. So therefore, c and 3c actually they are same, they are constant. So to get y as a subject, cube root. When we have cube, we move it to the right hand side, we have cube root. So cube root of 3x squared plus c. Here we have our option. Determine the integrating factor for the dE below. So first of all, if we involve integrating factor, means we applying our method of simplest as IM. So S start with standard form. Standard form, dy dx need to be a subject, so we divide by 2, dy dx as a subject. And then in the middle here is the term of y. Yes, you can see your expression. You start with dy dx, means the term after that is term of y, and then the term at the right hand side is x. So that's why you have dy dx. When you divide of 2, here we get 3, here we get y, and we rearrange in the standard form. Here is negative y, and here is 3x. Integrating factor is e integrate px dx. What is px? Px is the coefficient from y term here. So from here, px is negative 1. Therefore, we are going to integrate negative 1 in the position of power. When you integrate negative 1 constant, you'll get negative x. So our integrating factor will be e negative x. So here we have our option. Then determine the particular solution for this x, y equals to negative cos x plus c. If the initial condition is y in the bracket 0 equals to 1. So which means that y in terms of x equals to 1, x is equals to 0, y is equals to 1. So in this case, you can see our solution still maintain xy as a subject. Therefore, we just need to find out what is your constant here, so that we can get to the particular solution. So as we substitute x 0 and y 1, so negative cos 0 plus c. Negative cos 0 is equals to 1. Therefore, c is positive 1. xy equals to negative cos x plus 1. So here we have our option. If a radioactive substance decay according to the equation given here, how long it will be take for the amount of the substance to take reduced to half of its initial value. So when T equals to 0, when we have radioactive decay substance, our mass here will be in full, means initial mass is m naught. So they ask you when is it, so that this mass will be half of the initial value, means 1 over 2 from the initial mass here. So therefore, we substitute our solutions here. You can see m equals to something, means this is your solution, where mass is 1 over 2 m naught initial mass. So this is initial mass times E negative 0.03 T. So m naught can be simplified. When you move your E, it will become ln. And when we want to find out the T, it will be ln 1 over 2 divided by negative 0.03. So this one, you can evaluate using your calculator. So we will have 23.1049 something. So we log off, it will become 23.10. So 4 you not need to round in. So that is our option here. And then which of the following equations are separable variable? So to have separable variable, we make dy dx as a subject, means at the left hand side, make sure we can factorize the x and factorize the y completely in one bracket. So which means that function of x and function in terms of y, they can be in a bracket here, in a factorize here. So the keyword here is factorize. Can we factorize x or can we factorize y? Seems like this one cannot factorize anything. We cannot take out anything from here. So this one cannot be factorized, means this is not separable. How about this one? dy dx. When you power in terms of e and x and negative y, actually we can separate it. It will be ex times e negative y. So this is a function of x. This is a function of y, where we can put it factorize in the bracket here. This is full function in terms of x. This is full function in terms of y. Can be completely factorized out. So this one is a separable variable. So how about option number 3? We try to factorize. So when we want to take out 1 over x, you are remaining 1 over y in the bracket. So this is a factor of x. This is a factor of y. Completely factorization. So we can separate this x and y variable. So our option here is 2 and 3. And a circle described in the equation, this is your general form. So general form, we will compare with your general pattern, which is x squared, y squared, 2gx, and then 2fy plus c equals to 0. Then we can compare this to find out what is your center or what is your radius. Center can be obtained by using formula negative g and negative f. Radius can be obtained by its formula, which is square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. So let us obtain what is your g, f, and c. Coefficient of x, which is 2g, negative 6. Coefficient of y, 2f, which is 4. Constant, c, which is this number, negative of 12. So find out the g, you get negative 3. Find out your f, you get 2. So when you want to get center, negative g and negative f will give you 3, negative 2. So seems that we have this option, these two options. So we eliminate the option 3 and 4. Now we need to figure out what is our radius. So to figure out our radius, we put in our formula, square root, where g squared is 9, f squared is 4 minus negative 12. So it will become plus, negative become positive. So it is square root of 25, which is give you 5. So our radius is 5 here. So this is our option. And then in the general equation of the circle, if the center is 0, 4, circle pass through 1, 2. So what is the value of C? When you have passed through the point, means this point can be substituted or can be fulfilled back into the equation. So in the equations here, we need to identify what is your G and what's your F. From where we can identify that, we can get our center. So in general form, using using the general form from the circle, we know that center is made up from negative g and negative f. So we compare the center given here, means negative g is 0, negative f is 4. So your g is 0, your f is negative 4. Then our completely equation will be x squared, y squared, negative g. G is 0. When I time this 0, it will totally 0. So 2f. 2 times x, it will be negative 8y plus c equals to 0. And we substitute the point that it passing to, which is 1, 2, which means that value of x is 1, value of y is 2. Substitute inside 1 plus 4 minus 8 times 2. Then plus c. Then you can get what is your c here. So which is 11. So here we have our option. And then find the standard equation of the circle with the center where the circle touch x-axis. Alright, so we can sketch this diagram. This is your circle and the center is given negative 2, 4. When it touch x-axis, so indirectly they want to tell you what is your radius here. So what is your distance here? If you can see negative 2 means this point is negative 2. And when I want to plot my y-axis, so when this point is negative 2, which means that our x-axis supposedly below this point below our x-axis. Alright, so we draw it. Negative 2, 4. So supposedly here we have. Alright, so correctly this is x-axis. So here we have negative 2 and 4, it is above. Yes, this is correct. And so for y-axis, negative 2 at here, so y-axis it will be at negative 1, 0. So I assume it at here, y-axis 0. So what can you read? This is 4, which means that this distance is 4 units. So your radius is 4 units. In standard form, it will be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals to r squared. So look at your center. Center is negative 2, coordinate x, coordinate y, 4. So when you put in the bracket, it will be x plus 2. So just assume you move it back to the left hand side. Y minus 4 squared and radius 4 squared will be 16. So x plus 2. Y minus 4 equals to 16. So here we have our option. Then the equation of the ellipse is given this. What is the length of the major axis? So firstly, we need to see this is vertical or horizontal. So this value 9 versus 4. 9 is a value horizontal. This one x, under x, this 9 is a value of for horizontal value. This one under y means it's vertical value. So horizontal value is bigger. Your a square is bigger than b square, which means that your ellipse is horizontal. So where's center, read out your x coordinate. X coordinates 2, y equals to negative 1. So 2, negative 1. Major axis is on the longest axis here. This is our major axis. So what is the length? So this is the unit that we need to find. The value of a is for the major axis. So 9 square is a square is equals to 9. So the value of a is 3. So which means that this is 3 unit. This is 3 unit. Then major axis, total length here, 3 plus 3 will equals to 6 units. So here we have our option. Continue. We still have a equation of the ellipse here. So we can see here x, beside x and beside y, we don't have any numbers, which means that x equals to 0, y equals to 0. Actually, your center is 4 on origin, 0, 0. And we observe our horizontal value and vertical value. Horizontal value a square is 25. Vertical value b square is 9. So horizontal value is bigger than vertical value. Our ellipse is in horizontal shape. So A is 5, B is 3. What they ask us to find out is the coordinate of focal. So since this center is 0, 0, focal is 4 between here. At the end here is vertices. So from the center to the focal is the quantity of C, length of C. So we have to obtain what is our length of C here. C square, with common sense, we take the longer value to minus the shorter value here, which is a square minus b square. So C square root of this answer. So C is 4. Therefore, you want to find your focal point, it will be 0, move to right hand side 4 unit, or move to left hand side 4 unit. Therefore, 0 plus minus 4 unit. So your focal point is 4, 0 or negative 4, 0. So this is your focal. Alright, so when you move left, right, means your coordinate x will be in operate. Y still maintain, coordinate y still maintain the value. So therefore we have this option. And then an ellipse has a focal 2, 3 and 2, negative 1. So we try to plot this value. 2, 3 and 2, negative 1. Vertex as 2, 5. So x-axis, y-axis. Okay, this is coordinate 2. This is coordinate 3. I assume that this is one of the foci. Another foci is 2, negative 1. Another foci here. So foci here, focus point here is 2, 3. Another focal point here is 2, negative 1. So looks like obviously our ellipse here is vertically. And another vertex at 2, 5. So 2, 5 should be at the end here. Alright, so this is our sketching here. At the end here, vertex 2, 5. So to get the center of the ellipse will be at the middle of these two focal points. So what is your center between these two focal points? So we use the concept of midpoint. Center will be fall in the between two focal points. So it will be your midpoint of your foci. So therefore, to find your midpoint, x coordinate plus x coordinate divided by 2, y coordinate plus y coordinate divided by 2. So this is 2 and 1. Therefore, our center is 4 on this option, 2, 1. Continue. Which of the following is the standard form of the equation of the ellipse with center at origin? Major axis, horizontal major axis. So this is horizontal major axis. Minor axis. So horizontal major axis is length of 8, which means that this one is 4 unit, this is 4 unit. So your A is equals to 4. Minor axis. So here we have our minus axis. Length of 6 divided by 2. So this is 3, 3. So vertical length is 3, which means that value of B is 3. To form our equation, so x minus 0 square over A square, y minus 0 square with y square over b square equals to 1. So our denominator here is 16 and 9. So therefore, this is our option. And then determine the parabola with the focal. If the focus is 2, 5 and directory y equals to 3. So firstly, you have to analyze here. Y equals to 3 is the horizontal line. So when this is horizontal line, y equals to 3. Let's say my y-axis is here. This is your 3, y equals to 3. Then x-axis here. And then focus 4 and 2, 5. So 2, 5, move on. So move up. This is your focal. So your parabola, your focal point have to be positioned within the parabola concavity here. So therefore, we can get your parabola shape here, which is open upward. So it cannot be like this. If your parabola downward, your focal point have to be in your focal point have to be in your parabola. So it cannot cut directrix because directrix always on the opposite side here. So therefore, we can see our parabola here is open outward. So when it have an open outward, which means that the standard form equation here will be start with x squared. So x minus h squared equals to 4p y minus k. Then we have to know what is your vertex here. How to find our vertex? So this focal point is 2, 5. This directrix is 3. So the value of P is here. And the value of P is here is equivalent. So from 5 to 3, the distance here is 2 units. So 2 units, which means that here 1 unit, here 1 unit. Then our vertex will be in between. So when you move 1 unit downward, which means that our vertex will be at 2, 4. So it will be x minus 2 squared, then 4p y minus 4 squared. Then what is your p value? Your p distance here is equals to 1. So substitute some more. Here we have our answer. So x squared minus 2, x minus 2 squared, 4, then y minus 4. So here we have. Continue. Determine the shape of this parabola. So parabola, you can see our variable x and variable y. So one part is square, another part is without square. Here we can see our x is at square. So we have x in term of square here. We need to move the term of square at the left hand side. So parabola standard equation is the thing with square here, variable with square here at left hand side. So the variable without square at right hand side. Therefore, we rearrange. So x squared minus 4x equals to, we move this y to the right hand side, negative y, negative 1. And then we try to computing the square, x minus square, so that we have this standard form. X in the value of square equals to 4p, then y equals to a value. So value of b in the computing the square divided by 2, negative 2, we minus back the value that we in the bracket here, negative 2 square. Minus y minus 1. So x minus 2 square. So this one minus 4 plus 4. Negative 1 plus 4 will give you positive 3. So lastly, we factor out our coefficient, factorize out our coefficient from the y, which is negative. So you can see our p value here. 4p will equal to negative 1. P will equal to negative 1 over 4. So when you have p in terms of negative, this parabola is start from x squared. X squared means we only consider small or concave upward or concave downward. Senyum atau malsam for x squared. So when you have negative means it will be concave downward. It will be open downward. So this is our option. And which of the following is the vertex of your parabola here? So Same here, we need to rearrange our equation. Let the coefficient, let the term with the square, we maintain it at the left hand side. The term without square, which is y, we move it to the right hand side. And when we divide by 3, negative 3, move your negative 3 to the right hand side because our standard form is start with this bracket. We don't have any coefficient before this factor. So move your negative 3, here will become 1 over 3 y plus 5 over 3. And this one, we put in the standard form, start with 4p. So all the coefficient of y we factorize out. All the number that time with y here, we need to factorize out as a 4p. When you get out 1 over 3, here is 5. So your vertex is 4 on this value. What is your x coordinate and what's your y coordinate? So x here is negative 1, y plus 5. So y is negative 5. So therefore your vertex is negative 1 and negative 5. And we continue. Given the line here, 2x plus y minus 5 equals to 0, it's going to intersect. So you have your circle, your line you're going to intersect. So which of the following statement is true? There are two intersection points between these two lines, so we're not sure. We need to try to substitute and see how many answers we have. If we have two answer of the x, means two intersection point. Sometimes if you just touching, means you only have one intersection point. Sometimes your line didn't touch, means when we solve this simultaneous equation, we don't have any solution. So therefore, we try to substitute this line, y equals to negative 2x plus 5. Substitute this one into your equation. Substitute into circle equation. X squared plus y squared 2y minus 4 equals to 0. Alright, so we try to solve this quadratic. Simplify first. X squared, we expand this. A squared 2ab b squared, expand this. And this quadratic we rearrange. We have 5x squared. How many x here? You have negative 20 minus 4 minus 4. Negative 28x and constant 25 plus 10 minus 4. So we have our quadratic. You can try to key in your calculator to solve this quadratic using the mode of equation. Taking out the degree to the quadratic, which is 2. So you key in your a value here is 5, then negative 28, then 31. So you can see your calculator give you answer. They give you decimal. This is for 8. Another one is 1.519. So I have two answers here. So which means that there are two intersection points between the line and the circle. Yes, the line is a tangent. No, when your line is a tangent means you just touch your circle. You only have one intersection point. And then the number of points of intersection between line and the circle can be determined using the discriminant formula. Yes, because when I want to solve this quadratic, I have to identify the discriminant of this quadratic, whether it have two roots or it have one root or it have no real roots. In this case, I solve it directly to get the coordinate. So if you don't want, we can test b squared minus 4ac. So this is your discriminant formula, where b is negative 28 squared. A is 5, C is 31. So we see what is the result here. So as you have 28 squared, then minus 4 times 5 times 31, you can get 164. So greater than 0 means this quadratic that we have tested here, it have two real roots, and we already proved it by solving find the x. So this statement is true. So our option is 1 and 3. Here we have our option. So that's all for this. Thank you for watching.